price is too high, price is too low, commissions, all this jumbled up stuff. We have to remember, we're sitting next to each other. We are Team Beachbody. It's not corporate and the network, and it's not even the network and its downlines. Each one of us is sitting right next to each other. And we have nobody to blame for either one of our successes, except as a team, you and me. We sort of go, we're going to be success partners in this, and you're going to have your other success partners, and as you go into Team Cup, you're going to have somebody, and you're going to say to them, I need you right beside me. We have got things to do right now. And I wonder, how do we create the greatest network of all time? How do we succeed at this? It's actually really simple. We need to attract and be the greatest coaches of all time. Not the greatest distributors, not the greatest salespeople. We need to be the greatest coaches. We need to help more people get results than any other company in the history of network marketing or health and fitness. But we have to do that together. None of us leaves here and thinks that they're alone. I don't go back to the office and go, I'm on my own. I'm just going to sit there. I'm going to come up with the next idea, and then hopefully they'll be able to do something with it. You and I have got to be sitting next to each other doing this day by day. And you have to trust, I'm going to be working as hard as I possibly can, and I need to trust that you're going to be working as hard as you possibly can, regardless of what your results have been prior to this moment right here, regardless of what you've heard, what might have been intimidating to you. You see these incredible speakers, you see these coaches parading up here, and you might be like, well, I don't know if I can ever be like them. That's one of the reasons that I created that group, the I'm Here to Help group. We put 1,000 coaches in there, and I didn't think of it as 1,000 coaches. I really thought of it as 1,000 individuals who were sitting right here that I could learn from, because I didn't know how this business worked. I didn't know enough about it. We went a year and a half struggling. I'm like, why aren't the Challenge Pack numbers where they used to be? Why isn't retention of a coach or of Shakeology what it used to be? So we created this group, about 1,000 coaches, and I wanted to learn firsthand. And what we did was, I would put up a post every day. And it started about 70 days till Summit. So every day I would put up a post, and it would be motivational or a challenge or maybe a thought that I had of something I did from personal development. But the first thing that I wanted to do was take some inventory of who was sitting in this chair next to me. And the most fascinating thing, and I think Darren captured it, was, definitely we saw some posts in the group. What are your limiting beliefs? Why aren't you achieving Success Club 5 or 10? Or why not Success Club 30? I mean, my question is, why aren't we selling a challenge pack or 2 every day? And of course we heard the normal things. We saw people are saying it's too expensive for them right now, or they don't have the time to work out, or they failed at so many things, or they've heard things about Beachbody. There was all these excuses. But between those would be 10 and 20 posts from people saying, I don't think I'm as good as that coach over there. The limiting beliefs were the things that was the thing that was standing in the way of most of the coaches of that 1,000 group of coaches. The person sitting next to me, my wingman or my wingwoman, my partner is thinking that he or she isn't good enough to help people. I gotta tell you, I feel this every single day. When I come out here, I don't necessarily feel worthy of being up here. I don't know how this happened. We started a little company, it was 4 of us in an office. Wouldn't it be neat if we could someday do 100 million in sales? Oh my God, my mind would be blown. And I'm looking out at 15 to 20,000 people staring at me, expecting me to say something smart. How did that happen? I got plenty of limiting beliefs. What I don't let them do is control me. You're my partner. I need you not to let that control you. That can't be your story. Or else you're not going to have a story that you like. Neither of us are going to like the story that comes out of that. I need you sitting next to me with confidence, that we're going to do this together. We're going to have each other's back. Yeah, there's going to be stuff. I'm going to blame you. You're going to blame me. But we're going to work it out. But together, as a team, we're going to figure this out. On day 52, I put up a post based on a personal development book that I was doing, reading called Great by Choice by Jim Collins. And I chose this particular day and slide because I asked the group, what were some of your favorite posts that I did during the 70 days of this group? And this was one that came up. Being a 10Xer is basically the difference of being a person that, it's about companies, you know, a company that can be somewhat successful, and then there's that Google or that Facebook. I mean, you can look at MySpace versus Facebook, right? Or you know, you can just look at many examples of a company that was decent, made a nice profit, and then there's these companies that just go crazy. They study what's the difference between these two types of companies. So I wanted to read into that. What's the difference between a coach sitting here who does pretty well, gets to diamond, gets that $500 bonus for the rest of the year, and that coach that gets to 2, 3, 4, 5-star by the end of the year? What I learned in that book was 3 key things. One is that fanatic discipline is one of the key behaviors of a 10Xer. By fanatic discipline, that's just the vital behaviors. And of course, you know, what we talked about in the group, and we'll post throughout August, 5 donuts a day. 5 donuts. Let me just explain the 5 donuts real quick. I assume not everybody knows about the donuts. Okay. A donut is a warm-up. It's not something that you eat, because we are beach body. That's a beignet, clearly. I've watched their social media. People, it's just a powdered donut. Let it go. I just don't think they're that great. Anyway, we're going to Indianapolis, I can say that then. Okay, a donut is, so you've seen, you've seen professional baseball, right? So you don't watch the guy, the professional baseball player, the batter, he doesn't go up there and stand in the batter's box. He doesn't like walk out, finish his spits, adjust himself, and go up there and get ready. He stands in the batter's box. He puts a thing called a donut on the bat, and he takes these swings, and it makes the bat heavier, and his muscles go, ah! It is hard to start that bat, and it's hard to stop that bat. It takes some swings. That's what a donut is, because then he bangs that thing off, he goes up there, and he stands in the batter's box, and when that 100-mile-an-hour fastball comes at him, oh, that bat starts so fast and so easy, and he stops it. And then the next one, here comes a curveball. Oh, we can find where it was going. The donut is what warmed him up. My suggestion to the group, and this really caught on, is that you do 5 donuts every morning. And a donut means you look for 5 people who like the photo, who aren't expecting you to invite them that day, and you just send them an invite. You don't think about it, you don't overthink it, you don't try to finesse it, you just go, hey, I'm starting a challenge for Shift Shop, it starts July 24th, would love you to be in it. Hit me back if you'd like to be in it. It's not a post, it's a direct invite. 5 donuts, and you don't expect anything out of it. This is how you, by the way, if you want to win the Darren's little contest, the 100, you just do 5 of those, do 10 of them a day, and you'll be first. I have my own contest, which is who's the first to get to 100 challenge packs yet. But that's just the difference between me and Darren. No, I think it was good advice. But the point is, so you do these 5 donuts every day, and here's what happens. You're not expecting those people on that cold call text or message or phone call. You don't expect them to say yes. But now when you start your follow-ups, when you start to do your work that day, now that you're in the batter's box and you have those people to follow up with, it's way easier. Because I just did 5, I just shook off the nighttime. Like, and I'm suggesting that you do 5 donuts before you do your coffee, before you do your workout, just shoot them out. Don't brush your teeth, don't think about it. Sorry kids, I'll make your cereal in a minute. I'll pour your daily sunshine, and then you go there and you do your 5 donuts. That's fanatic discipline. We also have sharpening the pencil. Sharpening the pencil means you ask questions. You know how you sharpen a pencil, right? You put it in that little thing, you sharpen, the little shavings come out, sharpen, twist it, twist it, twist it. That's when you're talking to somebody who keeps saying no to you. You keep spinning the pencil in there, and the shavings come out. You look at it, not sharp enough yet, they haven't said yes, twisting it, twisting it, twisting it, until you get to the point. And the point is, what do they need to be helped? That's sharpening the pencil. That's fanatic discipline. constantly following up, not letting them say, no, it's too expensive, or no, not right now. You keep asking questions. Why is it too expensive? Why not right now? You said you wanted to lose 5 or 10 pounds. You said you failed at other stuff before. What if I guarantee that you will succeed with this, where you get your money back in 30 days? That's sharpening the pencil, asking questions. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you do this? I just found out that Energize gives you 5% more power. Why wouldn't you want to take Energize? I just found out that you're going to eat 1 less slice of pizza if you have Shakeology an hour before. Why wouldn't you want to drink Shakeology? Because I like my slice of pizza. Anyway, Fanatic discipline. Empirical creativity means that, and I bet a lot of us are guilty of it, I know I have been, is you can be creative, but you don't be creative for creativity's sake. Empirical creativity means you look for hints of other things that have worked for other people. And that's what was so great about the group. So as I'm sitting next to you here, we're looking for things, what's working for other people? What's working for other people in other networks? What's working on TV? What's working in a newspaper ad? Constantly looking for proof, empirical creativity that we can then take. This is how I'm going to get people to stay on Shakeology for 6 months. I see how they're rewarded. This is how I'm going to get my kids to try Daily Sunshine. This is how I'm going to get my group of 20 people in my Shit Shop Challenge group to be able to see it all the way through the 3 weeks. You're going to pay attention. That's empirical creativity. And then productive paranoia contradicts the first two. And that is the presumption that none of that is going to work. Which means you get up every day because I don't know if that discipline is going to work, so I got to keep working. I don't know if my creativity, if that test that I'm doing, that little Facebook ad, or that post that I'm doing, or those messages that I'm sending out, or that script that I'm using, I don't know if that's still going to work today. So you're there's a little bit of productive paranoia that you've got that it won't work. Then another one of the favorite posts that people had was this thing we did on day 31, where I posted that progress happens on the hard days. And I was reminded of this one Friday. I put this up on a Saturday because I had a particularly hard Friday. Like, it was just brutal. Everything was coming at me, technology and customer service issues, and it was just like, oh man, what is the deal? But I have this wall that this hallway that I walk through, where I have all these quotes, things that I hear and I think about on the way in, and I write them on the wall so that when I walk into my office, I've got this sort of motivation and just things to remind me of how to do what I do. And one of the things on the wall is it says, when you see a problem, don't step over it, fix it. So that's the way I go about things. But when you do that, that means you're going to uncover problems and you're going to deal with problems, and that feels yucky because success feels so much better. But that day that I was walking out of the office, I saw this on the wall. Progress happens, that's actually the photograph from the wall. Progress happens on the hard days. I need you here, next to me, to know that Monday morning is going to be a hard day. You're going to want to post something with your cup of coffee, and I can't believe it's Monday. And I'm telling you, you and I are going to have this exuberance hangover, the beignet hangover they call it in New Orleans. And Monday's going to be hard, and Tuesday's going to be hard. And we have to know right now, consciously, that progress is going to happen if we expect it to be hard and we confront it and we take it on. Another favorite post that people had in our group was on day 22, with 22 days left till summit. What it really means to say never quit. I had a partner in a small company that I ran in Philadelphia who told me this story about, I think it was, who's the guy? Neil, who was the test pilot? Neil Young? No. Anyway, the test pilot. Neil what? Neil Armstrong, yeah, that's right. Okay, so this pilot, I think it was him. He was getting interviewed by a TV reporter, and the reporter's like, you know, you're one of the most famous test pilots, first to break the speed of sound, and so I'd like to know, when you're in there, because you know, you can pop the hatch and you get blown out of your plane and parachute to safety. And he said, what do you do when you know that the test is going to fail and the plane is going to go into the ground? What's the first thing you do, Mr. Armstrong? And he goes, try something else. He goes, well, I get that. That's what you would do. You keep trying things, I understand. But what do? You just know. You have exhausted all possibilities, and it's just not going to happen. What do? and I try something else. No, it's like, there's the ground, you're about to smash into it, what do you do? That question goes on a few times, and Neil Armstrong says to the reporter, look, I know what you're getting at, but I have a job. My job is to test this device. My job is to push this aircraft to its limits. To understand where its limits are, I have to push it all the way. So yes, I'll make judgment calls along the way, but my mentality is, try something else. That's what never quit means. That's what I need you and I to agree to, side by side, when we leave New Orleans today or tomorrow. We got to agree. We're going to try something else, because I guarantee you 15, 20,000 stories in here, 15, 20,000 personalities. Each one of us is going to leave here having learned something new and having lost something that we should have remembered. We're just going to have to try to remember it, but I'm going to get back to the office and we're going to just try something else. We know that it's been a tough year for many of us. It hasn't been as easy to sell this. We're transitioning to the Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology Challenge Pack with the help of a coach to get your results. We're going to keep trying. We're going to keep working at it. The agreement that we make is that if we want to be the greatest network in history, the greatest health and fitness company in history, we got to stay in that cockpit. We got to see that it's a great opportunity, and we got to try something else. That's what I need you to do. You and me, as partners, side by side. Another favorite post was on day 13. This one was one of the hardest posts that I wrote, because I saw people, as the group went on, I think you probably experienced this on Facebook, as the group went on, I started to see some negativity and the limiting beliefs creep back in. So it started the first 30 days or so, everybody was positive, they were like, I'm going to give this a shot, and they were picking up things, and then all of a sudden you started to see people, excuses, rationalizing things, and one of the things that I started to pick up was people saying that, or I read a couple posts, people saying, I'm uncomfortable inviting people to my challenge group because I'm not in great shape. I don't have a six-pack. So how can, in fact, the harshest thing is when some bully or somebody actually comments on something, one of your posts, and says, how can you call yourself a Beachbody coach if that's the kind of shape you're in? And first off, it's outrageous that anybody would do that, but let's just leave that for a second and take it for granted, because it's going to happen. The elephant in the room needs to be dealt with, and that is the fact that with 266 million people overweight or obese, that doesn't mean we're looking for 300,000 hard bodies to help those people get healthy and fit. I'm looking for every single human being to help another single human being get healthy and fit. We all saw Jamie Sue this morning up there with, we saw her up there with Chris. Should she be embarrassed about trying to inspire and help people? I want Jamie Sue sitting right next to me, my wing woman, helping me help people. And she should be proud and supported by all of us, and comfortable with the fact that we're all doing it together. And the fact that she confronts that, and I'm not, and by the way, the elephant in the room is kind of like a clever thing. You can almost chuckle under your, chuckle quietly to yourself, oh, an elephant. Isn't that ironic? No, it's the thing in the room that we need to deal with and we need to be okay with, because we have the problem. So we say, here we are, I'm not where I want to be, and because of that, I'm going to be able to help you get to where you want to be, because we're both going to confront the same problems at the same time. That's the power of being a coach, not by being perfect. And it was in that post that I also put this quote, which I thought was so perfect. Let me not be dead while I'm still alive. Meaning, you want to be able to share your life while you're in the process. You don't want to be stuck there feeling like you need to be invisible and paralyzed until you're perfect. Because that literally will constrict you or remove you from life. It's not about feeling alive if you're living perfectly. It's about engaging life. That's what we want. That's the elephant in the room. So be proud of it, support your teams with it, pass that on to your teams so that they are all empowered to truly help people achieve their goals. Now, one of my favorite days, and I think one of the group's favorite days, was when we got real tactical. This was right after July 4th. 6 days until Summit. We called it Power Prospecting. And this is a truly empirical creativity, because I know as a CEO what it takes to create urgency. Create urgency with a deadline, right? We have a deadline coming up right now. That's July 24th, where we want to have our groups set up to do the shift shop. And that is the deadline that the I'm Here to Help group was working on. You create urgency by creating a limitation, creating demand, because it outstrips supply. So what I learned though, because I didn't know how to do this, what I learned in watching the coaches, and in fact, Jatana Jackson and a bunch of people, I think Tulin was doing this and Tanya Jean was doing it. In fact, this is Tanya Jean's example. This is something that I saw on her Instagram feed, where she would put a list up that says, okay, so her prep week starts Monday. Don't forget, Tanya. It starts Monday. But she put this list up on her Instagram stories with 20 slots, and she put the names in of the people who were responding saying yes. Didn't mean that they had said they'd buy, they just said, I'm interested. So she reserved a spot and put it up on Instagram stories. And then the next day, or when she had some critical mass, more people saying, yes, I'll be in there, she added their names. Now you see, somebody fell off. No, somebody. Anyway, so if somebody falls out, you pull them out and you say a new slot is open. But now she gets to say, there's only a few spots left, and then she updates it again. Then Lynn comes in, she's got 7 spots left. By updating her Instagram stories, she's showing people out there who are paying attention to her that first off, there's demand for this thing called Shift Shop, and if they want to be supported by somebody who's on it, who's proactive about it, because this shows that she's proactive, they better get in now. I would strongly suggest that you adopt this. That is empirical creativity, power prospecting, showing people. I think this is kind of similar to some degree, what Shalene was talking about creating curiosity. What's that shift shop about? What is it that all these people are interested in? Because I saw it happen with the group. I mean, this is Jatana's, she's super creative, and it doesn't matter how it looks. Some people would do it just handwritten. I think that's Mark's, there's Joy. It's kind of cool. Everybody had their own design, so it's not just repeating what other people are doing necessarily. You can do it your own way, but you're creating a sense of supply and demand, and the urgency is starting July 24th. Guys, we have 9 days till July 24th. We got a few days until Wednesday the 19th with our surge call. You want to get your team to deploy this method right now, because if something's working, what I've learned in business is you use it until it doesn't work anymore. You might go, well, I'm going to wear it out. So wear it out, because if you don't wear it out, somebody else is going to wear it out. That's the thing. We are not that big of a company that we wear these things out that fast. So let's use it before somebody else uses it. Now the group, after we did this, they had some incredible success, like pretty outrageous Success Club and Challenge Pack numbers during the 3 days that we really focused on this. Then when I was asking them for feedback, I was asked by the group what was my favorite post that I did during the 70 days. My favorite post was on day 55. You can predict the future, but you can't predict the future, but you can create it. And this is also something that I have on my wall that as I walk into the office. And it's like a critical thing for me to remember, and it's a critical thing for you to remember, because right now I guarantee you're sitting in here and your teams are sitting at home, and they want to know that what everybody said, all these tips, all these coaches, all these best practices, that they're going to be able to put that thing in gear and it's going to work. Similar to the way that somebody who starts P90X or starts 21-day fix, they want to know on day 1, how many pounds am I going to lose? And by day 5, if they don't feel like they are on track to reach that goal, they're freaked out. And what's a shame about that is, so when you're doing fitness, you can have this thing called a cortisol response, and that's where your body retains water as you're starting to build muscle. And you actually retain water, you feel puffier. You ever go through this, right? You start a new program, you're like, I feel like crap. I look terrible. This program's awful after 2 days. But that's the cortisol response, and it's going to work its way out after the first week. The point is, what you got to do is the things that work. You got to have fanatic discipline. You have to have some trust that you're going to be able to generate the outcome. The reason that was my favorite post, and it's the reason that I want it to be one of your favorite posts as my wingman or wingwoman, is I want both of us to sit in these chairs, to sit in our desk chairs, to pick up our phones and create our future. When we create our future, we are affecting, influencing the future of those around us. When we have the courage to affect the people around us, we are a rising tide that will float all ships. The more we talk about this, the more we power prospect with those lists, the higher the decibel level that people will be like, what is that thing, Shift Shop? What is this new Shake Daily Sunshine? What is that clean week group you're starting? What is that double time thing that you're doing with your kids? The more we talk about it, the more visible we are about it, the more we work about creating our future, the more people will be attracted to that. That's what we need to do. So the work starts now. Are you going to sit here next to me? What kind of coach are you going to be? We have a surge coming up on Wednesday. Will you tune in to that surge? It starts at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Chris will be on there. Some coaches will be talking on there. It's a great way to sort of take the momentum that we get out of Summit and sort of give it a little bit of a gear shift, plug back in to the team on Wednesday. There will also be a little special announcement you might have heard relative to something that we're doing with Sagi. You're going to like that. And then right after that, you follow with the team surge. That's where I need you right beside me. I'm going to do the surge with some coaches. I need you right after it at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time or 9:30 Eastern to get on with your coaches. So Skype call, just get people together and figure out how you're going to deploy to make the most out of the challenge group kickoff of Shift Shop that following Monday. We have got time. You have got time to put 20 people together in a group and for us to take the decibel level of this thing up to what this event deserves, to what your attention to this event deserves. I need you right beside me, working as hard as me, because I'm telling you right now, if this chair stays empty, I go nowhere. This company goes nowhere. I cannot do it by myself. I'm just not that good. How many people can you help if starting now you work with relentless enthusiasm, positivity, and heart? I'm going to be sitting here in this chair, reliably. I represent the company. I represent your success partner. I represent your upline. Or I represent your cross line. I represent a friend you can trust. I'm sitting here, but you got to get in that chair and you got to put in the same amount of effort. How to be the greatest network of all time? We just help people. We have to get into it. We have to have the courage to not limit ourselves out of fear of rejection, out of fear of our own body image, out of fear from past issues that we've had. And if we do that, we can become the greatest health and fitness company of all time. We just have to help people. Take that away from here. And I say that because right now, if you sat here next to me, you don't know what the outcome's going to be. You don't know what your future's going to be unless you create it. But you need somebody sitting next to you who's going to help you. I've had that in my life. He's sitting right there. There I was, I think it was about 6. That's my dad. And he shows up. And if I need him, I call him. But he shows up and he's just there. And he was there when I went 0-16 playing basketball and 0-22 playing baseball. I was a hell of an athlete. But you need somebody. You need your wingman. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to help you. because that's what we do. We help each other, we help people achieve their goals to enjoy healthy, fulfilling lives. Take that in for a second. We help people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. I don't know another network marketing business or really another company that's got over 10,000 people sitting in a room right now where that's a slide on the wall and that's what they're being asked to do. And that's what we can do. But I need you here. I need you right here beside me. And that's what we did. That's what we did this weekend. We got the celebration tonight. We still got hours left on the court for you to get your wear and chair and get your cool new shoes. But what I want you to do is leave here and I want you to be empowered and confident and passionate and relentless because I need you here. So let's do this. All right, guys, July 24th, the ship shop.